Hi everyone, and welcome to the Taurus May 2022 Illumination reading. This is I'm Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. So happy birthday to all of my Tauruses. This is a fun month for myself specifically because it is my birthday month as well. I am a sun sign Taurus. But I hope for all of you who are April Tauruses that you've enjoyed your birthday already. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to take a look at your internal energy, Taurus, what you're bringing into the month of May. We're going to then take a look at your external energy, what's going on around you, and then what Spirit is asking you, what challenge Spirit is asking you to engage with this month to unlock something about your unique self and to better illuminate your path and your purpose for yourself as you face and overcome this challenge. All right, so as I'm shuffling the cards here, I also want to thank everybody, both new and returning. For those of you who have continued to support my channel, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Now, for those of you who are new and actually returning, I am doing something a little different this month. There is an extended for this reading, which you can view on the by clicking on the link in the description box below, which will take you to my Vimeo page, and you'll be able to view that. All right, so Taurus, your internal energy as you enter the month of May is Ace of Cups. Wow, beautiful, beautiful energy. This is renewed love. This is a fresh connection to what's in your cup, what emotionally fulfills you. And it's a beautiful renewal energy. You know, when I think of Taurus as a sign, we are a sign that really harnesses that beautiful energy of spring, of, again, renewed life. And I feel like that's really coming through here. Okay, so in our internal energy, we have Ace of Cups. In our external energy, we have the Five of Cups, somewhat clarified here by the I'll pull this all up, 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Beautiful. So the Five of Cups is a card of regret. This is when we are kind of emotionally mourning what hasn't worked in the past. And what can happen is we end up ignoring the 2 cups that are standing upright behind us, which this kind of signifies the 2 of Cups in the tarot, which is one of equal and supportive partnership. So there can be a little bit of this month of, as we are renewing our own connection to what fills our cup, to what we bring uniquely to every situation, and also what emotionally fulfills us just on a very basic level in our life, we may be faced or forced to face something from our past that where we didn't bring our cup fully to the situation, or which, as we tried to pour from our cup into others' cups, it didn't quite work out the way we wanted. And unfortunately, that emotional investment was spilled and lost. And with the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the Ace of Wands, there is this release of whatever brought us to our lowest point. The 10 of Swords is that overkill. It's when we feel like we can't go any lower than this. But the beauty of it is that we actually then complete the cycle and we get to stand up with our Ace of Swords, with a new truth of how strong we are and what we want to move forward with from this, the lesson learned in this cycle. And it's going to allow us to really be able to see what we need to walk away from emotionally, which is the 8 of Cups. And this is wherein the new inspiration lies. The Ace of Wands is a beautiful card to be coupled with the Ace of Cups, in that this is that spark, This could be a fresh new idea. This could actually be the inception of a child. This can be the creation of something, so a newfound connection to a creative project. But it's also a newfound connection to our eternal flame, to that spark that is truly unique between us and the divine. So you have Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Now, why are you being asked to really engage this renewed connection to yourself on an emotional level? Why are you being asked to engage that with something in your external environment that's reminding you of pain from the past, of a regret from the past? It's so that we can go out as the curious, optimistic child. To the Page of Pentacles speaks to actually taking something tangible and going out and wanting to learn more. Wanting to get back into that beginner's mindset where we get to wipe away actually that pain and hurt and sometimes even fear of repeating a cycle, of getting to this place again. We wipe that clean and we go out with this fresh, renewed, what can I do with this? I have this little bit of seed, seed money, seed something. And I now want to go out and see what I can do with this again. There's an element of movement with the Page of Pentacles, not as much as with the Knight, but there is this kind of playfulness, this, again, optimistic, wanting to gain more information around what we can do with a little bit of something tangible. So I get this feeling, Taurus, that a lot of you are being gifted with a little something, or you already have, your true Ace of Pentacles, and now it's time to water that Ace of Pentacles from your emotional reconnection to you, to what you bring uniquely to every situation. And that's going to allow you to really be able to understand kind of this whole scenario here of a time when you were kind of a time that brought you to your knees, and a time where you realize you have to walk away. Now, this could be something where you are actually, this is that moment. This is that moment this month for some of you where it's going to be that realization of, oh my gosh, something is wrong in my life right now, and I can't keep regretting and mourning the loss of something. It's time for me to walk away from perhaps what I've been kind of clinging to. That, the Eight of Cups is when you have to walk away from something that either we've put a lot of emotional investment into. You think about, you've been filling 8 cups from your emotional well, or this is something that at one point it did fulfill you. At one point you thought this was going to be it, and now you're realizing this is not it. And therein lies the inspiration. Therein lies that clarity, that reconnection to self, of realizing, okay, this is what I need to walk away from. Now, for some of you, this is just revisiting this, that you've already gone through that. And as you get connected again to this, you start to feel your emotional cup kind of overfloweth, and you start to realize, well, this is what I value. This is what I bring as value to my situation. This is what I need to feel emotionally connected and fulfilled. That's going to give you additional clarity as to a time in your past that maybe you are still have almost like a shadow clinging to, of like, but it didn't work out and I had to walk away from that. And all of a sudden you're going to realize that's the lesson I needed to learn. That's what I can carry forward right now. That's what I can pull something tangible out of this. And with this inspiration, I can go out and see now what I can do with that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some cards. We're going to take a look at the blocks. What's the challenge in really bringing this beautiful reconnection to yourself and your emotional state and love? What is the challenge of really being able to bring that out fully and kind of get past this point of regret for yourself so that you can lean in to the inspiration? Okay. This is a really beautiful message, Taurus. I think one in which, a lot of you are deserving of. It seems like a lot of you have gone through something pretty, emotionally traumatic in a way. And it may not have been to the point where you were sitting there, sobbing in a corner, or, even going through a massive depression. It might have just been something where now you're realizing, oh my gosh, like I let myself kind of just go for the past few years, or because this didn't work out, I just really never pursued anything with vigor since then. And that's where you kind of are like, shoot, wait a second. I need to get back to myself. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, all right out the gate there with the Eight of Swords. We have the Four of Wands. Let's see if I can get one or two more cards. So the Wheel of Fortune, when that comes up in your primary challenge position, Wheel of Fortune is always a beneficial energy when it comes out upright. It's one where the energy is moving forward. It calls to there will be opportunities. But when it becomes a challenge is when we're kind of scared. We're kind of scared to jump on that wheel or even spin it, because there is a chance, there is a feeling of kind of fate and luck and chance. And sometimes we're not ready for that change. We're afraid. We don't know if we're going to be hurt again. I think a card flipped out over here. Maybe it didn't. That's so strange. I could have sworn I felt a card, but apparently it didn't. So, all right. Okay. I will continue to shuffle here. But this is where, when we're starting to realize, okay, we're starting to get back to this beautiful connection to ourself, a healthy connection to self. When the wheel starts to turn, this is when we face that fear. This is really when we face that fear of, can we overcome this? Whether can we overcome it in the moment, this month, for those of you that are facing this decision of having to walk away from something, or can you face the fear that as you move forward and you start to kind of give the wheel a spin and you start to turn with the wheel, that your reconnection to yourself now is enough to allow you to not repeat this cycle. All right. This last card just does not want to come out here. What's the final challenge here for Taurus to get through? So the Eight of Swords coming up after the Wheel of Fortune is where we feel stuck. This is, but on a mental level. This is where we are stuck in our mind by the negative thoughts of the what if, or I can't see a way around. And this is actually really what I think this whole reading is about, is freeing ourselves to walk a path on faith. So why am I saying that? Because with the Eight of Swords coming up, this is truly, you can see two people kind of wandering aimlessly in their thoughts. And this is where we get stuck in our head. We get stuck in but I can't walk away from that because I need the financial stability, or I can't walk away from that because I need to have somebody in my life who's a romantic partner. I can't be alone. Or this is where we don't see a way to do it differently. Instead of kind of allowing ourselves to just like open up to the possibilities and let the wheel turn and to see kind of almost like rolling the dice. Where is this new found connection to myself? Where is it meant to kind of fit into the grander scheme of things? And what Spirit's asking you to step into at the heart of your reading is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a beautiful energy of building a firm foundation from a place of passion. This is also being able to really stop and pause and celebrate how far you've come and what you've built up to this point from a place of taking action on passion. So this could be actually the foundation for a marriage. This could be the foundation for a lifestyle that's allowing you to better support yourself, your creative efforts, maybe a passion project you want to take on. It's also something that can be celebrated with others. And this is really what, I feel like your message last month kind of brought in this as well, that it's about really having faith on what you've already built to this point. That it may seem kind of scary to maybe walk away from something else, or to kind of, again, to see a change that you're feeling is kind of looming around the corner, but to lean in to know that you've built a solid foundation. You have something now that you built from a place of passion, and you're going to have to kind of lean into that to trust that where you feel you're trapped now, you might actually, as you embrace the Wheel of Fortune instead of allowing it to be a block, as you embrace it, it's going to show you the way out. It's going to liberate you. Because then on the other side of this, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Moon. Two of Pentacles is the card of juggling the day-to-day. It's also a card of prioritizing. You know, we only have so much time and so much energy to put towards things each day. And so this is about really making that choice of, well, where do I want to put my priorities? What connects directly back to my Ace of Cups? What do I find emotionally fulfilling? And how can I connect that to the small tasks that I have to take on every day? And how can I bring myself, my identity, my value to that so that I know where to prioritize? You know, sometimes it's going to be hard. You know, a lot of us can go to a job and be able to do this very well. We understand that, you know, we have to answer certain emails first, and that we have to, you know, look at our appointment schedule and prioritize a meeting or something along those lines. But when we bring this back to our day-to-day, the little things that we do, you know, stopping at the grocery store on the way home, the reading to our child at night before bed, all these little things that build up, that sometimes we just kind of rush through them and we are not bringing ourself, what we uniquely bring to that scenario, out. And this is what this is kind of calling you to really fall back on, is your ability to, you know, Taurus, we are we're an earth sign. We have that strong ability to really methodically push ahead and to handle the day-to-day things that are very, you know, always prevalent in our life experience. But we have the ability to do that. But now it's asking you, can you bring yourself into each and every one of those tasks that you do, and to not just do them mindlessly, because therein is going to allow you to discover which pentacle oh, and I love the star. Well, that's beautiful. So there's the star laying underneath the pentacle. So there's something here about, there is a big dream, hope, wish fulfillment that's being hidden behind what seems to be a very small token, small blessing. But you're going to have to make the decision as to where to prioritize that time, which task in the moment is really going to fulfill you more. And that's going to allow you to really see what needs to be kind of brought out and played with more. Maybe something that you realize, wow, I really want to do that, and I kind of stopped doing it a while back. You know, this could be like where if you stopped reading at night before going to bed and you're like, man, my imagination has been suffering. I want to start building that time back in for myself. Or this is where you realize that maybe you haven't been spending enough time with your children, or you haven't been spending enough time working out, or things like that, things that directly connect back to you. And that's where you're going to, I think, really pick up on something that's going to help elevate the foundation you've already built. Final challenge is the moon. And I think it's interesting with the Wheel of Fortune and the moon. The moon is that kind of lack of clarity. You're being asked, can you walk this path on faith? Can you leave a comfort zone, which is also what the Eight of Cups kind of speaks to. Can you leave a comfort zone to walk a new journey that's going to build on the Four of Wands you've already created? And can you do it with full faith, knowing that you have this eternal love, this cup that will always overflow with, and that you can always bring it to new situations, and that there are always equal partnerships and connections waiting for you. It's almost like some of you might have been missing that there is support around you, that there are people who want to connect with you, want to support you. And it's almost like at this point you're realizing, oh my gosh, that's what I've been missing. And that's what's going to allow you to have, I think, the courage to leave something behind. Either, again, leaving behind it emotionally because this has happened in the past, or to actually physically leave something behind right now. And you're going to realize, no, I always bring something to the situation, and there are always going to be people around me who support me. So why don't I just go after what I really want to prioritize right now? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards. We're going to pull one for curiosity, one for courage, and one for contemplation. So this first card for curiosity is going to be where Spirit wants you to ask yourself a question throughout the month of May to really open up that kind of curious avenue for Spirit to come in and help answer that question, to illuminate something here. Okay, so we have attachment number 5. This coming up very much, I think, really highlights this whole reading here, is that there's something around an attachment to either, and you can see this individual's holding a mask. It's the number 5. Number 5 harnesses the energy of change. It's really stating here to be curious about where you're clinging to either an old identity, a mask you used to wear to maybe prevent yourself from feeling the hurt and the pain of what you were going through, or just, again, just an identity or even a level of security. This can be where we've been so attached to the money that's come in from a job we no longer care about, or we become so attached to a routine that we do. And it's almost like with the 2 of Pentacles coming up, it's like, let's shake this up, guys. Let's take a different way home from work. Let's, I know you get up every day and do X, Y, and Z, but why don't we just eat something different for breakfast? Or why don't we go talk to that neighbor we've never once talked to after living across the street from them for, 6 years? It's one of those things where it's realizing you've, I think, attached yourself to something that now, with the number 5 coming in, is preventing you from really leaning into change. So this is where you need to kind of ask yourself that question to allow Spirit a channel to really come in and highlight, what are you attached to? Is it a self? Is it an identity that you want to portray to the world so that you could feel better about yourself? This could be like where you maybe are looking at having to walk away from one type of job and go to another, but yet you feel like your identity is wrapped up in that job, that everybody sees you as successful because you do this, or everybody sees you in a specific way because you do this. This could also be, again, being attached to a certain routine, a certain level of security because you know what to expect. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming up in the moon, this is saying, there's not going to be a lot that you're going to expect. But the beauty of it is that in leaning into this, you're going to have the opportunity to follow your star if you have the courage to break this attachment. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see what's actually coming up for the concept of courage. And courage is where we are being asked to have the courage to take action, to lean into spinning that wheel and really leaning into as well. Can you walk this path on faith? Can you build on this foundation? Are you really as stuck as you think you are? Or can you let the foundation that you've built around something that's brought passion and inspiration to your life, can you let that be the guiding way forward out of this mental entrapment? So it's really, I'm seeing here is kind of going from the mental entrapment, utilizing a foundation you've built, and really leaning into digging into your day-to-day. Digging into your day-to-day as to what needs to change. What needs to change? Where can you prioritize things that now connect to you, that fulfill your needs? And where can you prioritize something specific in your day-to-day to take it out fearlessly and with faith and go out there to play with it, to see how it's going to tie back to you being able to realize a deep hope, dream, or need for yourself, that star. Okay, so let's see, what does Taurus need to know about where to have the courage to take action? Cards are a little tough to come out here. There we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. It says, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. This is beautiful, especially to experience in Taurus season, where we are really looking at the physical and grounding ourselves in our physical experience. That part of how we experience our physical experience is through our physical body. So as you're having the courage to really kind of lean into this change, lean into releasing an attachment to something, and leaning into the faith that what you're being called to work with now and build upon is meant to tie back to a deep need, hope, dream, wish for yourself. That it's about just really leaning into your body, really leaning into, does this feel right? Does this feel right, or does this feel right? Does hanging out with this person feel right, or does hanging out with this person feel right? And it's really getting to that place of, I think, actually really getting into the wheelhouse of Taurus, getting into the superpower of being able to work with the physical and utilizing your body as part of that, as your kind of divining rod, as one of the, I can even see the Ace of Wands kind of being that divining rod of getting back to saying, wow, when I look at this, I didn't realize how much every time I did this task, I'm clenching my jaw or grinding my teeth. Or when I commit to hanging out with this person, I stress over it for 2 weeks before I finally meet up with these people. It's one of those things about really liberating yourself through feeling into what feels good for you. And this is going to directly tie back to also what as you're emotionally connecting, you're physically connecting at the same time. Okay, and for the last card, we're going to take a look at contemplation. What does Spirit want you to reflect on? Kind of final underlying or overarching theme here. So this is the message of this card. Really is something that you should also keep in mind for the month of May, that as you're getting that courage to take action and you're starting to really free yourself to spin that wheel and go forward in faith, what do you need to keep in mind? What do you need to reflect on and kind of hold yourself responsible to as you do that? Let's see, what does Taurus need to know about where to reflect for the month of May to really help them overcome the challenge of not seeing a way forward when Spirit is asking you to have faith that it will be presented to yourself. Okay, this is quite a lot. I'm going to just go with, well, I guess I'll do them all, since everything's been it's your birthday month as well, so we'll go with them all. So we have Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? We have Inner Temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Dance with life, do something to change your energy. Trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? And answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So we have really 3 cards here with Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? And answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? There's something here about the way forward is being presented. The way forward is knowing what you want to walk away from. The inspiration comes from, where do you want to walk towards? It's not enough to just know what we want to walk away from. It's making that commitment that what allows us to have faith, what allows us to go out and actually want to be that optimistic child with something physical in our tangible life and wanting to grow and learn more information, is because we see the value in it. And that is the whole lesson in Taurus season. What do we value? And so when we make that decision to walk away from one thing, well, what are we walking towards? Where are we bringing our value more into alignment with? So that's really going to keep that in mind as you are feeling your soul calling you to do something. What is that? Where are you being guided towards versus just turning your back on something? And then with Inner Temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart and dance with life. Do something to change your energy. This really is leaning into that change, leaning into that element of just, do you want to sit in kind of darkness and attached to something, or do you want to go out and have fun and play with life? That this energy really does mirror this kind of energy. It's like going out there and just like realizing, I forgot I love to dance. I'm going to just start dancing. I'm just going to start doing it again, and realizing what that can open the doors to. That as you get out into this, it could be like maybe you were a dancer when you were younger, and suddenly now you realize you want to prioritize maybe picking back up and taking a dance class. And as you do that, you realize, wow, I really want to do more of this. And you start to play with it more and realize, well, the studio actually needs a teacher. And I have the ability now to make room for that in my schedule. And, yeah, maybe I'll do this 3 days a week and teach people how to dance. And it can be that sudden. That's how this can all work, but you have to go out there and first do it. And with the inner temple devotion tuned into the portal of your heart, this is where you're getting into that place of exactly this, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is your reconnection to self-love, and it's reconnection to the confidence that you have in the love from the divine for you. But it's also realizing what's in your cup. What do you bring uniquely to every situation, and what emotionally fulfills you from your life experience? That's what makes you unique. And that's what's tuning into that portal of your heart. This is the portal. When we feel emotionally fulfilled, when we know our value and what we bring to every situation, that's the portal that opens the door to dance with life. And you see the portal, the door here, to be able to answer the call. Beautiful message, Taurus. I really hope you all have a wonderful May. It sounds very illuminating. Now, if you would like to click on a link below to see the extended, we will dive into the themes of love, and we will expand more on this and the star that you'll be focusing on, and I will pull additional clarifiers for cards in this spread. So if you'd like to meet me over there, I will see you in just a few, Taurus. Otherwise, happy birthday again to all of you, and have a fantastic month of May. Bye.